Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Herp Monday number 41. Sorry I haven't been putting these out, but I really hope you've at least been enjoying the Constant Fish Fridays. Today's Herp is a Herp that's very popular in the pet trade, a really cool animal. Please be aware of what you're buying though. Today we are going to be talking about the Indian Star Tortoise. Indian Star Tortoise, or scientific name Geochelone elegans. Again, that is Geochelone elegans. They are part of the family Testudini, which is the family of tortoises. They range from India to Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Obviously, India is where they are most found, hence the common name Indian Star Tortoise. And these are actually found in arid and dry forests. So your more traditional tortoise, not found in your, rivers and lakes. Although these tortoises do seem to tolerate water better than most other tortoises. But they still like to be in that dry forest, grassland. It is a rather small tortoise. Definitely not what you would call large, maybe medium size. They can grow up to about 7 to 12 inches long, which is about 18 to 32. As is the case with most turtles and tortoises, the females are significantly longer and larger than the male. As you can see on this, with this picture, they have a really convex shell, which is that humpback right there. These kind of elephant-like feet and scales. But something about their shell is they usually have these humps rising out of the shell. It's not a very smooth back. It's got a lot of humps in. Something else about these is they have a really large plastron as well. Plastron is that part of the shell that's on the belly of the turtle. So you can see this covers from head to toe. Most turtles only have a small portion of their belly, maybe all of it, but it's definitely not as thick and robust as this is. It's pretty unique. However, something to note, and obviously the most thing that you're gonna see is their patterns, where they got their name from. This black carapace, this black shell with these yellow dots with these streaks. When you look on it, it looks like a sun, a star. Really unique, definitely a beautiful tortoise, something that's well deserving of the name Star Tortoise. As I said, they have these tan scales, and with the tan scales combined with those star patterns really break up their pattern when you're looking at it when they're on top of like dead grass or things like that. That really, all those stripes and everything serve for camouflage. It really makes this turtle kind of difficult to see in the wild. You're not paying attention, they get kind of cryptic. They are an herbivorous turtle. Grasses, flowers, fruits, leaves. Fruits meaning that fruits actually are a frugivorous animal, but they kind of do any of that herbivory. But they have been known to eat dead meat that they have found. So most of the time though, they're just eating the grasses and leaves and stuff. As we said, females are larger than males. Again, that is pretty indicative of most turtles and tortoises, because the larger the females, the more eggs that they can have a clutch. And something interesting about these, females actually can lay 1 to 9 clutches per breeding season with 1 to 10 eggs each. Most of your turtles 1, 2, 3 clutches maybe, at least to my knowledge, but that is a ton. And you think about this small 12-inch turtle having 8 eggs inside of her. It's gotta be pretty darn tight in there when you think about it. In terms of how to tell the males from the females, the easiest way is going to be their plastron. So when you look at their plastron, right back in here, there will be a big dip, a big convex concave, I can't remember, portion of the plastron that helps the male get on top of the female, whereas the females are going to have this really just flat plastron. Some other things is that a female is going to have a shorter tail, but that plastron is very indicative. Something else to note, young baby Indian star tortoises do not really have this pattern. They're really tan, very uniform in color, and they're also much smoother on the back. They don't really get these humps coming off these scoots until later on in life. Now, this turtle is in fact in trouble though. Don't give it any leeway. They are an important food source. There are certain native tribes too that do still harvest these turtles or tortoises for food. Sadly, they are also popular in Chinese traditional medicine. And those two things combined with the fact that they are very, very, very prevalent in the pet trade. You're talking about probably one of the top 2-3 tortoises available in the pet trade. People really look for them hard. You can buy one for about $150, so it's definitely not that expensive. It's not that cheap, but it's definitely not that expensive. They're relatively easy to take care of, but the price plus the amount of how easy these are is really hurting their numbers. There's not been too much, to my knowledge, of actual numbers done on their populations, but even though they lay so many clutches with so many eggs, their population still is on the decline according to that, and definitely should be careful. So if you do get this as a pet, a personal pet, I'm not going to dissuade you. Just make sure you're getting it from a reputable source. A lot of these tortoises are harvested illegally in India, so please just be aware. And if you do get one, just make sure that you are getting it from a reputable breeder or a reputable person who doesn't have any illegal activity. So now the interesting fact about this tortoise, the shape of the shell, the shape of the tortoise is presumed to be specially adapted to assist it to return to a stable stance after it's been turned over. So what that means is whenever it falls over and rolls onto its back, its shell seems to be really naturally assist them to getting back onto their feet. In fact, mathematicians Gabor Demokos of Budapest University of Technology and Economics and Peter Barkoni of Princeton University actually designed a homogeneous object called a gombak. Sorry, that's really difficult to meet my notes. That has exactly one unstable balance point and exactly one stable balance point. So meaning there's only one spot on that entire object where it's perfectly stable, and there's one point where it's exceedingly unstable. So just as a bottom weighted sphere, so think of a sphere that's heavier at the bottom, will always return to the same upright position. These mathematicians actually found that it was possible to construct that same shape. And after that, when they designed this object, they noticed that it was incredibly similar to the Indian star tortoise. And so they actually did an experiment. They tested 30 turtles by turning them upside down. They found that the vast majority of them were actually self-righting. So these mathematicians developed this incredible mathematical object showing how things will switch, get over, it'll be unstable, but they'll always right itself. And yet nature had already done it. It had made basically the perfect model for this tortoise to, if it gets in trouble and gets on its back, it will right itself. Super interesting. Thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. If I don't, please be safe. Have a great day. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you do. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and